Hello, my name is Yogendra and I'm a maths teacher at askIITians. Okay, hope you're doing well. Okay, we are going to do today trigonometry chapter lecture number 4. Okay, so in this chapter actually what we are going to learn today, we are kind of like 10th grade portion what was there, that whole thing we have done in previous 3 lectures. So today what we are going to start is something related to 11th grade, but to reduce the portion, okay, or to like how can you take this lecture as like in 11th grade we need to study so many things in trigonometry, right? Means it is not compared to 10th grade, it is much more, right? So we can say like little bit part of like basics of 11th grade we are going to do today, right? So it is not like completely related to your 10th grade, but if you want to do something extra on top of 10th grade, so this is what it is there. Like this lecture you need to look at it this way, right? So today learn we are going to learn today that how we are going to see the values for higher degree angles. Like we have seen standard angles, we have seen last class, but today what we are going to cover today is what something extra, right? It is like little bit extra than those standard angles. Means we are not going to up to 90 degree, we are not going to see these. We are going to see like sine of 120 degree, sine of 240 degree, or like that. Okay, so how to look at those values, right? We are going to learn that today, right? And to understand those values, I'm going to take the help of unit circle here. So that's why we need to understand unit circle. Then we need to see radians to degree conversion. We need to see compound angle identities, right? So you can see like, I don't think you will find out these all topics there in 10th grade, but it is mostly related to 11th grade. But it's your choice, right? Okay, that you want to do something extra, you want to you want to learn something extra from your not from your 10th grade only, like little bit more, right? So that is what it is. Okay, so let's get started, right? Okay, let's understand what is unit circle. These are the 3 topics we are going to cover today. So unit circle is a circle which is having radius 1, right? But the center of this circle we are keeping at the origin. That is what it is. So we are going to see unit circle in that way, right? So now you can observe here, we have written, okay, like if I explain this clearly, uh like what is it here, there is a point P here on this circle. Okay, let me make another circle to make you understand clearly. Okay, so I'm taking a circle. Let's assume it is a proper circle, right? Okay, so here there is a point, suppose something like this, okay, and its radius is what, r, but r we are taking here as 1. So this point is P, let's say, right? OP. So now if I make a perpendicular here, right? So can you see this is right angle it is forming, right? So this is A, let's say. So in triangle OPA, you can say if this angle is theta, right? So sine of theta is what? PA divided by OP. PA divided by OP, and OP is what, 1, right? So PA is equals to, this is 1 here, so PA is equals to sine of theta. And what is similarly cos of theta, we can get as OA divided by OP. So we get OA is equals to, OP is again 1, right? So OA is equals to cos theta, right? So if I need to give the coordinates of this, right, P point here, so on the x-axis how much I moved, this is x-axis, this is y-axis, right? So on the x-axis how much I moved, OA distance, then I reached to this point, and on the y-axis I moved PA distance, right? So what is OA here? OA is what, cos theta. So x distance is what, cos theta, and how much is vertically above I moved, it is what, sine theta, right? So this is what, so coordinates of this point we can give as cos theta comma sine theta. I hope it is clear. right? So that's how this is mentioned here. You can observe this in these two triangles. In this triangle we have seen this. Okay, we are using again trigonometric ratios like what we have learned before, right? But we are taking, what is the new thing here? We are taking a unit circle here, right? So this is what it is, right? So now let's understand, how do we figure out the unit circle? How do we use this unit circle to figure out sine 120 degree, sine 150 degree and all? Okay, like that is what we need to see, right? It is clear, right? So now how we look at the values? Okay, let me take the example now here. Suppose, okay, let me take this. Okay, suppose there is a circle here. There is a circle here. I'm taking here again x-axis, y-axis, x and y-axis here. Origin is what? O point. Now I'll come back to this question, don't worry, but let me explain you the like basic thing here, what we are going to do, how we are going to look at it. Okay, so basically if you assume this this OP radius to be a, like suppose you imagine it is a stick, right? It is a stick right here. So if you see the shadow over this, okay, like if we are projecting a light from this side, so it will make a shadow over here. I hope you're getting the point, what I'm trying to say here. Some shadow will be coming here, and if you project the light from this side, there will be a shadow here, right? This is A, this is B, if I name it, right? So shadow when I'm projecting from this side, and shadow when we are projecting from the other side, right? So this vertical one, right? Vertical one, you know, if this angle is theta, so sine theta is equals to vertical shadow, right? Vertical shadow of the stick, vertical shadow of the stick, then divided by, it is what? OB divided by OP. And OP is what we know. It is what 1 here, right? Because we are taking unit circle. Right. And sine theta, I mean cos theta is going to be what? Cos theta is going to be the shadow over the x-axis. Cos theta is going to be the shadow over this here, OA divided by OP, right? We know this already. OB, which is almost this PA only, which is equal to PA only, right? Because it is right angle here. So you need to consider one more thing here. Shadow over the positive Y will be considered positive, and over the positive x-axis will be considered as positive, and over the negative Y or negative X, that will be negative value we will take. That is what you need to remember, right? So now let's see, if I need to calculate, if I need to calculate sine of 120 degree, sine of 120 degree is what I need to calculate. So what I'll go, I'll take this radius, I'll take this radius to be, okay, let me use different color to explain you this thing here. Mm, yes, so this is what I can take here like this, right? I joined with this. This is what I have. O, now my P dash, okay, if I not name it, okay, P dash is gone here. Now the shadow will be what? If you see, vertical shadow is going to be positive right here. Now this is what right angle I'm forming here, right? This is what, if you see vertical shadow like this, it will be there, and horizontal shadow will be what? Here, right? Like this. So let me not take that, okay, as of now, but you need to understand what is sine 120 degree. So sine 120 degree, if you see here, which is what, 90 plus 30, right? 90 plus 30 is what, 120. This is what, 120 here. So can I make a triangle here, which is what, 30 degree here. So this triangle, okay, if I name it as A dash, can I say here triangle O P dash A dash is congruent to triangle O A, okay, I should mention here P, right? Corresponding sides. OP, OPA, right? This is what it is. So they are congruent. You can see congruent property because the angle is same, right? One of the length is same, right angle triangle it is, right? So you can say, you can say here it is what, angle side congruency, right? By AAS. Angle because right angle is there, right angle is there, and this is what angle side congruency, right? So now can I say 120 sine of 120 degree, which is what the value here is, what here you need to see this angle, okay, not this, okay? So these two triangles are congruent. So 120, if I need to see projection of this over this, okay, here, so can I say here OA dash divided by OA dash divided by what, OP dash, right? OP dash, because this projection divided by this radius here. That is how I'm taking the help of this unit circle. Now, if you compare with this triangle, OA dash is same as OA, right? And OP dash is same as OP, right? So OA divided by OP in blue triangle, if you see in triangle OPA, we can say cos theta means cos of 30 degree. Or if I say, now take time to understand this, but if you are clear with this, okay, then you can remember the all other things, right? So now what I can say here, OA divided by OP is what, cos of 30, right? Because it is congruent, right? If I compare with this base upon hypotenuse, that is what, cos of 30. So this is nothing but OA divided by OP, which is equals to cos of 30 degree, right? So sine 120 degree is equals to cos of 30 degree, which is what, root 3 by 2, right? This is how we calculate the value. I know it looks like too much to do right now, but I'm going to give you the short trick to do this. But as of now, can you remember this way, right? This is how we are relating. This is how we are utilizing our unit circle. Now, suppose you want to see this, okay, tan of 210 degree, right? Tan of 210 degree. Let's come to that now. Let's do that. So 210, if I take it, it is going to be like this, right? It is going to be this value here, 30 degree. Now, if you compare this triangle with this blue triangle, they are congruent again, right? Now, tan we want to see, tan of 210 degree. So tan is what? Shadow of this stick. Shadow of this stick when you put the light here like this. Okay. It is what going to be negative here, and opposites vertical one, right? This is what equal to this divided by this. Both are negative, right? So what I'm going to get here, if I name this Q and this is C, so I can see here QC divided by, right? You can say like this shadow, okay? So this is what, okay, O, R, right? So if you want, you can say OR point, right? OR shadow. Let me take it OR. By the way, it is positive. We got the positive OR divided by OQ. Now, if I compare this in this triangle, it is going to be what? It is going to be same as PA, right? PA divided by what? OA. And that is nothing but what? PA divided by, in blue triangle, if you see PA divided by OA is equivalent to what? Tan of 30 degree, which is nothing but 1 by root 3, right? That is what the answer. So we are getting the answer for this value. What is it? 1 by root 3. And why I took positive? This is negative, this is negative. So negative, negative divided is what? Positive, right? You can see, because negative shadow, right? So this is how we calculate. I hope you got it. Don't worry, try to understand this. I'm going to give you, as I said, short trick to remember this, right? By the way, these angles, this 210 degree and all these angles are called as lead angles because they can be converted into 0. They can be written as multiple of 0 or 90, right? 0 or 90 ke multiples. If we can write an angle in the multiple of 90, it is called as a lead angle, right? So this is what we are getting the value, right? You can see this here, right? If you want to observe, okay, more angles here, we can do that also, right? Okay, like suppose you want to say how to get cos of 150 degree. Let me show you. Cos of 150 degree is what I want to calculate, right? So I need to go 90 and then how much more? 60 degree more. So here shadow will be what? Here, right? Like this, shadow over this. Okay, but here we look at the shadow here, right? Negative x-axis. So if I name this, okay, this will be what? Okay, O point. This is our P point and this is what? N point, let's say. So it is going to be ON, but negative, divided by OP, right? Now if I make another triangle, I mean to say congruent triangle like we did previously. I want to make another triangle which is what? Congruent. I think I should take little bit more angle. Okay, it doesn't matter, but okay, let me take it. Okay, no problem. This is what it is here. So this is what 60 we have here. Now, if it is P dash, it is N dash. So these two triangles, the green triangle and red triangle, they are congruent, right? They are congruent. And you can see like it is what? Equivalent to what? Minus is there, right? I want to write ON divided by OP. Minus was already there. So ON is equivalent to what? ON is nothing but same as this, right? So if you observe in this triangle, it is what? It is what? P dash N. P dash N divided by OP dash. And which is what? Minus. Now what is this? In this triangle, if you see, it is what? Sine of 60 degree. So minus root 3 by 2. This is what the value. So cos 50 degree is nothing but minus root 3 by 2, right? So this is how we understand, right? These all angles, okay? So let me give you the shorter form. I know this is like little bit. This is what I just showed you, the use of unit circle, how we can figure out the bigger values or bigger angles, right? Now let's understand what is the comparatively easier method. Okay, so what we do here, sine of 90 plus theta will change to cos theta. Sine of 180 plus theta will change to what? Minus sine theta. Now, how do we remember that? Okay, how it is and how is it this? Okay, like how is this going to be like this? Okay, like it is what? Minus sine theta, right? So what we do actually, whatever angle is given to us, we will break down that angle into 90 multiple angle, right? 90 ka multiple angle plus theta, right? Plus whatever is the remainder angle, right? 90, like if I have, okay, if I was having this tan to 10 degree, right? So what we do here, break down this angle. Tan of 90 into 2 plus how much? 30 degree, right? Like this. So I was having sine of 120 degree. So it was sine of 90 into 1 plus 30 degree, right? Now I was having cos of 150 degree. So it is cos of 90 into 1 plus 60 degree, right? Now I'm telling you to avoid, if you want to avoid this unit circle, we can do this way also. So what we do actually here, you need to remember, if angle is in the first quadrant, here we say A, S, T, C. So here A means all, S means sine, T means tan, and C means cos, right? So if angle is in the second quadrant, the sine and reciprocal of sine, which is cosec, that will be positive. Here all are positive. Here tan and cot are positive. Here cos and sec are positive, right? This is how you need to remember. ASTC we call it, all school to college. You can remember like that short form, right? So this is what, okay, like you can remember as a hint, right? So if it is first quadrant, all trigonometric ratios gives positive values. If it is third quadrant, tan only gives the tan and its reciprocal only will give the positive values. If it is fourth quadrant, cos and sec will give the positive values, and second obviously sine and cos, right? But how do we change? Does it change? Does it remain changes to cos, or cos it remains sine? So you need to remember one thing here. When angle is breakdown as even multiple of 90, tan remains same, tan remains tan only, cos remains, trigonometric ratio doesn't change, so it will be tan only. And now this angle, the 210 degree, that was in the third quadrant, so it will be written here what? Positive, because in tan is positive there, right? If it would have been cos, it would have been negative. If it would have been sine here, it would be negative here, right? But tan remains tan, and it is not changing also because even multiple, so 30 degree. Now here sine 90 plus 30, it has to change. And which quadrant it is? Second quadrant. The angle lies in the second quadrant, so it is what? Cos of 30 degree. And here 150 degree, okay, 90, odd multiple of 90 again. So odd multiple means we need to change. So sine, and it is second quadrant, so that's why negative. Cos is not positive there. Cos is going to give you negative value here. So sine of 60 degree, right? This is how we see. Now you know these values, right? Now this is what? 1 by root 3. This is root 3 by 2. This is minus root 3 by 2, right? This is how we calculate these values. I hope you got the idea. No need to worry. You are going to learn this in 11th grade in much more detail. As of now, you can remember like this, right? But I hope you got the idea. You need to watch it again. You need to relate it, okay? So if angle is breakdown, first you need to look at the angle. Angle is like in which quadrant? According to that, you need to decide the sign, the value, and result is going to be positive or negative, right? After that, you need to break down the angle, right? Break down the angle as even multiple of 90 or odd multiple of 90. If it is odd multiple of 90, it will be, if it is odd multiple of 90, it will be changing, right? It will be changing. Tan will change to cot, cot will change to tan, sine will change to cos, cos will change to sine, secant will change to cosecant, and cosecant will change to secant. Like that it is, right? Okay, let's move on. You can do these all questions. There are many much more practice you can get. let's move on to next topic, okay, which is what? Radians and degree. Now we need to understand radian to degree. How do we convert, right? So let's understand that. Okay, so one of the easiest way to remember this, okay, is what you can remember like this also. 180 degree is what? Pi radian. Pi radians. 180 degrees is what? Pi radians. So 1 degree is what? Pi divided by 180 degree radians. Right, this is what radians here. Now if you need to convert any like 30 degree, so what you'll do? Pi by 180 degree into 30. So it will get cancelled here. Pi by 6 radians. Radians we represent like this also. Pi divided by 6 like this radian. Okay, now this is sometimes difficult to remember. So what is the easiest way to remember this? For a circle, if you look at it, okay, again, unit circle, right? Take the help of unit circle. If it is 1 radius circle, for this whole angle, which is what? Total angle is what? 360 degree. What is the circumference for that? 2 pi into 1, which is 2 pi. So 360 degrees 2 pi. So 180 degrees is what? Pi, right? This is how you can remember. I hope you got the idea, right? This is how you can remember. So this is how we can do the conversions. I just showed you for 60 degree. Let's change the question to 60 degree. Let's say 60 degree we need to change into radian conversion. So 180 degree is what? Pi radian. So 1 degree will be what? Pi by 180 radian. Now 60 degree will be what? Pi divided by 180 into 60 radian, which is what? If I cancel this, pi divided by 3 radian. That's all, right? This is what it is. These are the values written. Okay, you can understand, right? So you need to remember, you can remember like standard angles at least. Okay, 0 degree, 0 radian. 30 degree, pi by 6 radian. 45 degree, pi by 4 radian. 60 degree, pi by 3 radian, right? These are the values. 90 degree, pi by 2 radian. 180 degree, pi radian, right? These all you can remember, right? Okay. Yeah, this is for the 30 degree answer. Now what do we have? Compound angles. Okay, compound angle identities. Okay, now there is a proof for these identities, but I believe in 10th grade that is like, that is not needed. We can do obviously in detail in 11th grade. Proof we can do it, like, okay, as of now I think it is pretty easy. Okay, like you can just remember what it is. Sine of a plus b. There are two angles, so this we can write sine of a cos of b plus cos of a sine of b, right? So now a is what? 30 degree and b is what? 45 degree, right? So if I substitute this, so sine of 75 degree value will be what? Sine of 30 degree cos of 45 degree plus cos of 30 degree. Okay, so what is it? Okay, like now we have sine of 30 degree cos 45 degree, then cos of 30 degree sine of 45 degree, right? So we can calculate this sine of 45 degree. So now this is 1 by 2 into 1 by root 2. Then here cos of 30 degree is what? Root 3 by 2 into 1 by root 2. So we can say the value is what? 1 plus root 3 divided by 2 root 2, right? This is what? Sine of 75 degree, right? This is how we can utilize these identities, right? If it is minus here, it will be minus here. Cos of a plus b is what? Cos a cos b minus sin a sin b. Cos a minus b is what? Cos a cos b plus only this must minus sign will be there. Now how do we get tan of a plus b? We just divide sin of a plus b divided by cos of a plus b. So we get this, right? We can simplify this, right? So these are the values we have, right? Now suppose, okay, they are saying this is the question given. Sin x is this, cos x is this. So find the values of sine of x plus y. So we can calculate this. Sine of x plus y will be what? Sine of x, cos of y, cos of x, sine of y. So now sine of x is what? 15 divided by 17 into cos of y is what? 12 divided by 13 plus cos of x. Okay, now cos of x is not given, but no problem. We have, if this angle is x, so we have here 15 and this is what? 17. So we can calculate 17 square minus 15 square. This is what? A, B and C, right? This one here. So we can say cos of x is going to be what here? Divided by 17, which is what? 2 and 4, 8 divided by 17. So 8 divided by 17 into sine of y will be what? What do we have? Okay, sine of y will be what? Cos of y, we have this 12 divided by 13. So if you make the triangle again, we are going to get 5 divided by 13, right? So this is how we can calculate, right? Denominator is same. So 17 into 13 is the denominator. Now here 0, then here 180, right? 180 plus 40. So 220 divided by, we can multiply 1, then 221, right? This is what the value of sine of x plus y we can get. Yes. Likewise, you can calculate all the other values also. I hope it is clear, right? Either identities I showed you, right? This is how we are going to do it, right? You're going to learn this all in much more detail later on. So no need to worry, but try to understand these all. Okay. Thank you very much for your time. Okay. Bye bye.